Okay, getting this set up. Hello everyone, and today we are going to be farming on my main character, which y'all can see right here. I am a level 180 Master Breeder. This is one of the pet classes that we went over in the pet class video. The Master Breeder has a lot of passives that make their pets really strong. Master Breeder actually has the definitive strongest pets in the game because of all of the passive stats that you are able to give them. Today we are going to be farming for specific drops called the TP Jewels. Anyways, to give you all an idea of what we're doing, once you reach your master class, well, actually, let me start this over. Scatterbrained. As you go through your jobs, you have skill trees, and you buy your skills using the job points that you get through killing monsters. Killing monsters gives you an amount of job points. Once you save up enough, you can buy your skills, you can level them up. When you get to your master class, all of this is locked until you purchase your trees using talent points. You only get 7 talent points, and you have to invest them in these trees in order to unlock the rest of your abilities. So you can see I'm running 2 in this tree, 0 in this tree, 2 in this tree, and 3 in this tree in order to unlock all of these abilities, which gives my pets all these passive stats. Now, in order to get talent points, you have to complete 7 very difficult quests. If you are a new player, you are not expected to be able to complete these quests by yourself. You will have to get a higher level player to help you. If you are a higher level player already and you're making an alt, then you can just throw on a very high level pet with very high level gears, and you could probably do it yourself with minimal help from other people. But if you are new to the game and this is your first character that you're leveling up to high level, you will not be getting your talent points by yourself. Now, one of the quests that you have to do involves going into the first 6 dungeons of the game and going into basically a hardcore version of these dungeons and killing the dungeon bosses, and then reviving the last dungeon boss that you killed to make it even stronger and kill it again. And when you do this, it will drop a fragment. Fragments number 1 through 4. So the first dungeon is Relics of Arid Moonlight. So I have the Jewel 1, Jewel 2, and I have a few pieces of Fragment 4, but I need a Fragment 3. Once I have Fragment 3, I can combine all of those fragments together, and I can get the Moonlight Jewel, which conveniently looks like this. Now, I am farming these because I am going to be selling them. I have my slave account is in the flea market where people set up shops, they go AFK, they sell their stuff, and I'm going to be selling these for money. There are 6 jewels that you need total, and then you turn in all 6 to the correct NPC, and then you finish your quest and you're awarded that 1 talent point. Only very high level players and people who have good pets, good equipment are able to actually go in and do these. Again, you're not expected to be able to do this by yourself. So once you get high enough level, once you have good enough gear for you and your pets, once your pets are high enough level, you'll be able to go in and farm these and make some money for yourself doing this. And that is what I am doing today. I am trying to get not only the full set of 6. I currently have 4 in store. The first dungeon, the second dungeon, the 5th dungeon, and the 6th dungeon. So I need the 4th and the 3rd dungeon in here. I want to have multiple sets for sale so that I can make a lot of money. Jewel sets typically sell for about 2.5 billion rupees. I sell mine at 2.25, just a small discount so that I'm able to move them faster, get money faster, And honestly, when you're high level, the 250 million discount is kind of like pocket change. So it's not really hurting me too terribly much to put that discount on there. Okay, so without without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and reapply buffs to my pets and myself, and y'all are going to watch me go in and do this. Now, one thing before I do it, notice how I have only one fragment of a 1, one fragment of a 2, but 4 fragments of a 4? When you kill that final revived boss, it randomly drops one of the 4 fragments. None of them have any kind of special drop rate. There's not like you're more likely to get one over another, and they almost never drop like 1, 2, 3, 4, like perfect for you. So as you're farming these, you'll notice like right here, for the second dungeon, I have 9 of the fragment number 2 and 2 of the fragment number 4. For the first dungeon, I have 4 of the fragment 4. You'll typically have like 1 or 2 fragments where you're getting more consistently those, and you're just waiting to get that one fragment that you need. As you see, I have 3 of 4 fragments here, I have 3 or 4 fragments here, 3 or 4 fragments here, 3 or 4 fragments here, where it's just like you need that one drop, but you're not getting it. I actually went the other day through this dungeon. Annoyingly, I went through 10 runs of it before I finally got the one fragment I needed to make the jewel to finish off a set that I was selling to someone. So that's kind of frustrating. There is RNG in every aspect of this game. I think I've mentioned that before, and I'm going to keep mentioning that. Anyway, as I said, so I have fragment 1, fragment 2, fragment 4. I need a fragment 3. So that's what we're going to go for. I'm going to go ahead and apply this buff and this buff. And also, as I've mentioned before, my class overview, pet classes can freely have 2 pets. I have the Ethereal Pixie, has some of the highest magic damage and heals in the game, and the Crystal Golem, which is the best tank pet in the game. And these 2 synergize really well because I will show you really cool. The Golem has a passive where when it is attacked, there is a chance it will apply a debuff on the enemy that attacks it, which over 10 seconds will deal currently 2,649,557 damage every single second for 10 seconds, so multiply that by 10. That is increased by your magic attack, which is increased by your intelligence. The first pet in your formation, which mine is the Pixie, actually will copy some of its stats onto the second pet, meaning that if your stronger pet or whatever is the first, then your second pet will benefit from its stats. Well, the Ethereal Pixie has a ton of magic attack, has a ton of intelligence, so a lot of that is also being utilized on my Golem to make his passive even better, making him even better of a tank. He can just sit there and not even attack, and monsters will basically kill themselves attacking him because of all the damage they're taking from that passive, which is pretty nice. So you just build him tanky and beefy, let stuff attack him, and just let the passive kill them. But plenty of damage on my Pixie. Still some good damage on my tank, so we kill stuff pretty quick. Right now you'll see that all these skills are flashing. These are my pet skills. By equipping them on the skill bar and right-clicking them, I can basically make it be to where once I send my pets in to attack, they'll just automatically use their skills themselves. But by having them on the skill bar, I can also press the corresponding button on the skill bar to use my pet skills, which right here I actually have 4 skills. These are my magical nukes from my Pixie, and I like to have control of when it uses its nukes so they don't get wasted when there's only like 1 or 2 enemies. I like to make sure that there's large mobs, or I like to save them for when I'm actually beating the bosses. So I have them here, and then I can activate them whenever I want. I have the heals from my pets right here as my main slot so that I can choose myself or either of my pets and fully heal everything up. Here I have my passive buffs that as long as I keep them toggled on, my pets are getting the buffs. I have my potions, wind potions that make you run faster, that I'll be needing to run through these dungeons. Um, and that is my basic setup. Okay. So right now I'm in a place called the Hidden Village. You have to have a special pass called the Hidden Village Pass, which is time to be able to come to the Hidden Village. It's a cash shop item, but you can also buy them in game from other people for like a bill to 2 bill, depending on how long the ticket's for, whether it's for like a multiple 1 day passes or a 7 day pass or whatever. Allows you access to buffs that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Which is really nice. Makes you you and your pets a lot stronger, so that you can do stuff you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. The lac trader over there will give you like more rupees for the lac and stuff that you the drops that you collect. So pretty nice. And you can also just double click your ticket to instantly teleport to anywhere. Well, to the from anywhere to the Hidden Village. Okay, so we're going to go to this teleporter. It's the dungeon teleporter. These are all the different dungeons in the game, starting with the lower level dungeons, which is where we're going, the Relics of Arid Moonlight. This is typically a level 20 dungeon. Now, instead of actually entering the dungeon itself, we're going to talk to this NPC right next to it, who is going to allow us to enter a different version of it, a much smaller version, but a much harder version. There's 4 stages, stage 1 through 4. 4 is the absolute hardest, and that's where you get the fragments dropping, so that's where we're going. Yeah, I want my level 6 wind potion for a lot of speed. The actual dungeon is way bigger than this. The underground dungeons have been reworked to be smaller because you basically just have to beat 3 bosses and then the revived boss. If you can run fast enough, you can ignore all of the aggros instead of having to clear out every single room, which takes longer. And the faster you get through each run, the more runs you get through, the more fragments you get, the more jewels you make, the more money you make. That's the name of the game. So now we are just running through all of these aggro monsters that do not like our presence. They're trying to kill us. Also, I have an action equipped on here to make my creatures attack. So I can, if there's anything within range, I can just press it and they will auto-target. Now instead of clicking it, I actually just use the keys. And since my pets have really good kill speed, I can effectively just spam click it and take out a room. And let's go ahead and heal myself back up. And I have my Deco Pet is grabbing all of the drops for me. And let's go ahead and heal my tank back up. That's not a bad idea. I like to actively keep my pets and myself healed. I don't like to wait until we're at low health and then have to use the heals. Just because if you're trying to do too many commands, if you're being attacked by a bunch of enemies, it could cause some lag. And you could end up dying before you're able to get that heal to actually go off, and that's rather annoying. Also, the gear has durability on it, so after every run I like to just go ahead and repair the durability. Really, it should be fine for multiple runs, but it's easy to forget about it, and then when your gear breaks, you're out of luck. So yeah, you see these things, they stand no chance. They're effectively being one-shot by my tank that doesn't even have the damage that the pixie has on it. Okay, this is the boss 2. This is Medusa, and I just owned her like a bloody peasant. These satanic crystal cores are kind of annoying. They will slow down your movement speed, and they'll put poison on you, which will deal damage over time and like decrease your physical attack and decrease your attack speed. Okay, now that I've killed that, let's go ahead and collect our drops. Let's go ahead and heal the tank back up. And then I have to activate this pillar just by double clicking on it. And then the revived boss will spawn. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my magical nukes. And just... yeah. And I got a fragment number 4 this time. So now I have 5 fragment number 4s. I still need a fragment number 3 in order to make the jewel. we're going to go ahead and take the exit. For completing it, we get this little gift box chest. The chest, depending on what dungeon you have, will have different things in it. Typically, they're different armors for different level characters. Some of them you can sell for a little bit of money. Some of them are just garbage. You'll just sell them to an NPC for like nothing. So we're going to go back in and do our second run. Which, by the way, these are like, what, level 160 monsters. And again, this dungeon is a level 20 dungeon. That's just how much upscaled the stage 4 of this dungeon is. But again, this is like really tiny. The actual dungeon itself is way bigger. Okay. Those smaller chests, you can find keys by killing the bosses and you can unlock them. They typically have like a couple potions and like smaller things in them. Honestly, I don't like to waste my time opening them. I would rather just get through more runs instead of wasting my time trying to collect a couple of low-level health potions that I'm not even going to use. But yeah, thanks to my buffs, thanks to the movement speed potion I drank, thanks to the deco equipment I'm using, I can actually run through these areas and only take a few hits. Normally your natural movement speed would be way slower, and you would have to like fight your way through every single room, which, I mean, I do have good kill speed, but it's still kind of just a waste of time. The monsters don't really even drop anything. They might drop a little bit of gold, but negligible amounts. Amount of experience that you get for this at high levels is not not enough that you would actually use it to ever try and level up. Only thing you're going to do is try and make money off of it. And here I'll use that. And what's funny is I just used one of my magical nukes. I like to save them for the revived boss, but I just wanted to show y'all that it literally just, like, it's still going on. That dust cloud is going on. After like a second of it going on, it just one-shot the boss and that satanic crystal core, which is also kind of annoying. That's just how much damage it does, which just goes to speak volumes on how much health these revived bosses actually have. It's kind of stupid how strong these revived bosses are. And now we got feared, which means that we can't attack and we'll probably run around randomly. And I don't really want to be here because I don't want to die. I could very easily die in the crossfire. Now that my pixie can freely move, let's drop all of my nukes and yeah, those fears get really annoying because then you can't use your pet to heal. I got a fragment 2. I need a fragment 3. So it looks like we are going for another round. Oh, actually I need to heal myself. There we go. Get my little loot box that I will open at another time. Run 3. Oh crap, actually I forgot. You see, I told y'all earlier how I like to repair my durability. Like right now this is 534 out of 713 durability. As you use your pets use their items and take damage, their durability will go away. So you just click this little repair button right here and it just automatically repairs everything that needs it. I haven't really taken damage or done much because really my pets do everything. I don't need to repair anything. But yeah, keep an eye on that when you're playing the game, especially when you're going to be farming in dungeons. As your pets do damage, even if they don't take damage, their weapons durabilities go down pretty quick, especially when I'm spamming my nukes. And if you let your durability go to 0, equipment breaks and you can't use it anymore. And when you're spending a lot of money on good equips for your pets so that they can actually deal damage, it really hurts when that stuff breaks. also, as I mentioned in my pets video, how you can like tame all the dungeon bosses. If I really wanted to, I could tame that basilisk. I could tame the Medusa. The satanic crystal cores can't be tamed. They're special. They're not really actually a monster. They're just a nuisance. All these frogs, the witches, all that stuff could be tamed, which couldn't be tamed previously. Also, just because I'm in the mood and for really no other good reason, I have like an entire room on me, and then I just delete. Everything else is out of range, but yeah, I just literally clicked delete on all of them because I could. I'm level 180, my Crystal Golem's level 200, my Ethereal Pixie is level 190. I do get EXP penalties for my level 200 Golem being higher level than me by over 10 levels, but it allows me to be able to farm areas that I otherwise wouldn't be able to, and I can always get into a dungeon party and just unequip my Golem to get rid of those EXP penalties as long as I don't have it summoned. So it doesn't really bother me too much. That poison is a little bit annoying, but not as annoying as the stupid fear that all of these dungeon bosses think they need to use. And yeah, I don't like being that close. Okay. And now we are feared, so I can't heal my tank, and I can get caught in the crossfire. Movement speed degrade. Okay, Pixie, unfear, good. They're able to move again, so let's drop my nukes before anything else happens. I'm just using all my nukes at the same time. And there we go. I got a jewel fragment number 1. Not what I'm particularly looking for. Okay, and might as well heal again, and go ahead and repair again, and go back into stage 4. So, as y'all can notice down here, this is my money. I have 9 bill, 545 mil, 47,751 in-game gold. It is currently 9:58 p.m. Where I live. I actually stayed up all morning, all night last night, all morning. I played for maybe like 4 or 5 hours just farming for jewels, and that's how I made that money. Was I just went and I farmed. I made 2 jewel sets. Well, I made a little more than 2 jewel sets. Probably made like 2.5 jewel sets, and sold all of those jewels for 375 mil a pop. If people bought all 6, that would be 2.25 bill, which is my going rate for them. I've also sold a few random fragments here and there. Honestly, selling and trading fragments is not the most profitable thing, but when you have an excess of a specific fragment, if there's people who want it, it can work out in your favor. But I don't know, it just always seems to be my luck that people always want to buy the fragment where it's like I only have one and I want to use it to actually make the jewel, or the fragment that I can't ever get to drop. They don't typically want the ones that I have excess of that I honestly would almost just give away like candy. Die, 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 die. Those movement speed degrades are a little bit annoying. I will say Medusa does look pretty cool though. I like those horns at the top and those red eyes. Also, I should probably be healing. And let's just start nuking her to death. And there comes the fears. If she chases my golem outside of the nukes... Yeah, he needs healing. Come on. Fragment 2. So yeah, as I told y'all, it's just random. 1/4 chance every single time for each fragment. I only need one fragment, so 75% chance each run. I'm not going to get the one that I need. Eventually, I probably will. So I'm currently up to 2 fragment 1s, 3 fragment 2s, 5 fragment 4s. My only limiting factor is at fragment 3. If I get 1, I can make 1 jewel. If I get 2, I can make 2 jewels. UGS4, come on, I want to make 1 or 2 of these jewels before I move on to the next dungeon. I would like to show y'all all the different dungeons, at least what all the different UG dungeons look like. As y'all notice, Rappelz is a grind fest. There's a lot of different stuff you can do, but it's mostly going to revolve around going into a place and killing monsters, trying to get specific drops. In my case, for these jewels, so that I can sell them to people who need them for their quest to get their talent points. Other times you'll be going into other dungeons. There's crafting systems where you'll need drops from a dungeon in order to craft like decorative gear and better armors and things like that. I'm currently not able to do that. So that is why I'm doing this. I need to hustle and make money so that I can get better gears for my pets, so that they will become stronger, so that I can actually be able to effectively go in and solo the even harder areas where I can get the drops I need to make the deco equipment that will not only make me stronger and make my pets stronger in return, but also so I can make stuff that instead of selling a jewel set, which is 24 specific jewel fragments for 2.25 bill each, can start selling equipment for like 30 bill, 40 bill, 50 bill a pop and make some real money. Because honestly, I need like hundreds of billions. I need like trillions of in-game rubies. What the? Okay. I had one trying to sneak up on me and my pets decided to slap it and put it in its place. I do not want Medusa after me. I am not very tanky at all. My pets, on the other hand. Get out of there. Complete effect. Cool. Let's start nuking while I can. And let's heal up the crystal golem. And kill Medusa. I got a fragment 1. I'm actually not really lucky today. There's some times when I'll go and I'll actually just get what I need. If I already have like 2 or 3 fragments, I'll be able to go in just like once or twice, get what I need to make a jewel. Or I'll be able to go in and just do 5 or 6 runs and have a jewel and a couple of extra pieces left over. Right now, I am just not lucking out. I am not getting what I need at all. But on the plus side, I am getting tons of other drops. I'm getting money. I'm like every kill, I'm getting money. Not a lot, but it adds up. I'm also getting tons of other drops that I can go back into town and I can sell. So it's not really like a complete waste, because I do get money from other sources. And when I have a ton of fragments, I can just sell the fragments, or trade them for other fragments I need. It's just a slower process and doesn't generate as much income as actually making the jewels and selling the jewels. Like, I already know I'm gonna have them chasing me. I'd rather kill them before I go take on all those witches and everything else. No, I sometimes if your pet is going to use an ability and the monster that it's going to use the ability on dies before the ability goes off, it'll automatically target another monster, so you'll just keep chaining all the different monsters when you want them to stop attacking. You just select the monster, you select the pet that you want to stop attacking, click escape 3 times, and it'll come running back to you regardless of what it's doing. When I first started out doing this, my Pixie and my Golem were lower level. I think my Pixie was around like level 180, 185. My Golem was around like 190. I didn't have, not mentioning the gears, just always. I had worse gears for them. They weren't really that great. So I did not have the kill speed I currently have. There were times that I died. There were times that my pets died. I wasn't even able to complete a run by the time that I got to the end of it. But regardless of where you are, there's always something that you can do. There's always something. There's always a place that you can farm, stuff that you can sell. There's always a hustle that you can do in order to make more money, in order to better yourself. And that is another fragment number 1. And we're going to heal up. Sometimes it's fun to just go into sorry, sometimes it's just fun to go into the flea market and just basically just do some merchanting. Try to find people who are desperate to get rid of stuff that they just, it's honestly taking up inventory space for them. So buy for low, sell for high. Sometimes people will go out mass taming and they'll tame a bunch of pets that are worth a little bit of money. And if they have a bunch of them, sometimes in order to move them faster, they'll put discounts on them, sell them for under their value. You go in and you snipe them, and then you just sorry, message distracted me. You put them on a slave account that just stays in the flea market 24/7. You put them at their actual price, or at least in between their actual price and the price you bought them for. Make a profit. There's times we'll actually log on, and for like 5 or 6 hours, I'll just stick around in the flea market, check out the auction house as well, and just see what I can get a good deal on and what I think I can flip for some extra money without even having to go out and farm and do anything. There's also always people shouting in chat that they want to buy stuff and that they want to sell stuff. So once you just get a feel for about like what things are worth, you can get an idea of basically if you feel it's a good item that you can flip for a profit or not. I don't know. I like playing economy in games, like MMOs, when they have an active, like trading player base, things like that. I don't know why. I just think that's kind of fun. Sometimes it's also nice to escape the grind for just a little bit, but um, yeah, I don't know. Overall, I like the grind. Now, I haven't gone out taming in a while. I used to have like a full like taming gear set and everything that allowed me to tame really good. Um, I no longer have that stuff. I need to get some of that stuff back. I really was trying to focus on getting money to make my main set stronger, um, which allows my pets to have way better base stats so that they are tankier, so that they deal more damage, so that they heal more, so that they have better survivability, so that they're just all around better. Um, Still working on it, still a work in progress, but I'm always improving little by little. Okay, and get this last ability off, heal the tank. Oh yeah, if you'll notice, I've really only been using this heal right here, the single target. I really haven't had a need for all the other heals that I have. Um, This one heals a single target and also heals them over time. This one heals all your party members over time. This one also heals all party members, but honestly, none of these monsters are doing enough damage for me to really care to use them. But here, this will heal all of us up in the first tick. All the other ticks will be wasted. And I think I didn't even get what I needed from that one. Yeah. I'm at only like 23% weight. Yeah, your weight is how much basically stuff you can carry. Every item in the game has like an associated weight to it. If you get better, basically bags, you can carry more stuff. The yak skin bag is like the best skin bag in the game. Max weight 10,000. You can also earn this by doing quests, which will give you extra max weight. My Deco Pet also is evolved. I used an item on it to give more max weight. Um, it's also affected by your strength stat in game. If you have more strength, then you can carry more stuff. Once you get to about 75% max weight, then you get like a 50% movement speed reduction. So when you're out farming, you want to keep an eye on that. And heal it up for the few points. Oh, also something I'll show y'all. I mentioned this in my Training Island playthrough. I'm going to do another one because I didn't realize until after I recorded it that despite the fact that, I'll show y'all, despite the fact that my master volume and music volume was like all the way down, and I couldn't even hear it, that apparently Twitch decided it needed to prioritize that over my mic audio. Y'all couldn't even hear the explanations that I was going on for everything, and I was explaining every teeny tiny little thing. One of the things I explained is boss cards. How when you kill a dungeon boss, there's a very small chance it'll drop what's called a boss card. Every boss in the game has a boss card that does like a specific thing. You can equip them on your belt to increase your stats. And if you collect enough of the same boss card, then you can turn it in for what's called a collection. You'll no longer be able to equip it, but it'll give you different stats that are permanent stats. So once you fill up your belt, you can get all these collections and just keep passively increasing your stats. But you can only have one of each collection. But still, it's nice. And you can also just sell them for money. Bosses in the game, basically the lower level bosses, they respawn pretty quick. The higher level bosses might have like an hour respawn time on them. And it kind of just goes up from like each dungeon. The boss will have like 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, hour, respawn time or like whatever. So that you can't just basically camp them and keep killing them over and over and over to try and get the boss cards on them. Which people still do that. They will still camp for like the entire hour. and be like, hey, no, until we get this boss card, no one else kills this boss. So you can sell some of them for some decent money. Just depending on the boss it's from. If it's one of the higher tier bosses, it takes forever to spawn. There's going to be obviously less of those cards in existence, so they'll be worth more. And then cards, even if they're lower tier cards, if they give desirable stats, like critical power, crit rate, crit power, defense, damage. Okay, cool. Now that we are done killing all the random monsters down there, let's burn through the witches. Burn through the witches, dig through the ditches. I don't want to be there because I do not want to get caught in a crossfire. So that fear affects like the entire party. Heal up and time to nuke. Heal up. Oh hey, I got the fragment 3. That's the thing that, you know, I've been doing this for I haven't even been timing, and I've stopped counting how many runs. Okay, cool. So now I get to show y'all combining the fragments into a jewel. So you go to your combining, and you can put the fragments in any order, as long as you have all 4 required. Not that one. And we now have a Moonlight Jewel. Now we are going to move on to the next dungeon. Honestly, I would have kept doing this one and gotten like 2 or 3 of these, but I'm not going to make the next 30 minutes of this video be in the same dungeon. I would like to show you all the different dungeons and how they look. And then again, I can just click this. There's a small like timer on it before you can use it again. Let's click that and go back to town. And I also explained this in my Training Island video. Again, I'm making another Training Island video that'll re-go over all of this, and that one will be uploaded to my YouTube as part of the explanatory video series. But basically, when you kill monsters, there's a chance that they'll drop something called lack, and it's just absorbed into what's called the soul stone right here. You can upgrade it to make it carry more lack, and you typically trade it for either these items called chips that allow you to use your chip ability that puts a debuff on a monster that makes it take more damage from all sources for like 10 seconds. So if you chip a monster, you'll kill it a lot faster. It's just at higher levels, it takes up so many chips every single time that you use it that unless you have a ton of chips, it's not really worth doing. And on top of that, I have a good enough kill speed on these that I don't really need to do chipping. Instead, I tend to just trade them in for rupees because when I get it full, which is honestly any one run through that dungeon makes it full, I can trade it in for like 19 million rupees, which honestly is not much. But when you're doing that a bunch, it adds up, and every little bit counts. Okay, cool. I should probably... Yeah, I need to rebuff these guys real quick with my trait mastery and defense mastery. Makes them deal more damage, makes them take less damage. Okay, we now need, I have fragments 2 and fragments 4. That means I need a fragment 1 and I need a fragment 3 from the Lost Mines. It doesn't matter whether you go to the first or the second one, they're both the exact same thing. Back in the day, the servers were so full that they would crash because they had so many people on them, so they needed multiple copies of the dungeons, especially for the earlier levels. If you were not going to take the teleporter and you were going to run here, you would actually have to run from town. It'd take a little while, and then you have to run through this maze in order to try and reach the dungeon, and it's full of monsters. I'm honestly so much higher level than them, they probably couldn't even do any damage to me even if they wanted to. But they added dungeon teleporters in to the game, so you can just teleport to dungeons. You no longer have to run to them from the towns, which took a lot of time to do. Just made it more convenient. Yeah, this is the Lost Mines, but this is the underground version. Again, the underground versions of these dungeons don't look anything like the actual dungeons, the regular dungeons themselves do. These are very smaller. They're laid out differently. But they have some of the same scenery, like the bones and the rocks and the mine carts and rails and all that stuff. Yeah, that giant tarantula is like the first boss in here. There's always a series of like 3 bosses, 2 bosses, the satanic crystal core, and then the revived boss. You can tame again those. My crystal golem just looked at that stupid tarantula and it died. This is the Black Widow. It is it actually looks pretty cool. Y'all can kind of see it before its body disappears. Am I activating the pillar of light? And it respawns. Yeah, and these bosses, they love to spam fear. It's like their absolute favorite thing to do in the world. But I'm just gonna spam my nukes. Fragment 2. I don't even remember if that's one that I said that I needed or not. No, it's not. I already have now 10 of them. I do not need any more of those. And yep, get the chest. This chest will have different items in it than the one from the Moonlight Dungeon. Okay, next run. Yeah, which is really annoying. Oh, and also, if I really wanted to, I like to play it with like third person. You can't always zoom in like as much or as little as you want, and you can make it be first person. First person's kind of cool, but it also cuts off your peripheral vision and can make you run into enemies you didn't see or do stupid stuff. But when you're in an area where the camera is very limited because of the walls and everything around you bounding the game, you're going to want to play in first person. That happens sometimes. So if these walls were like more caved in and this was a lot smaller, then the camera would kind of push you into first person. Honestly, I think it would be cool if you could do VR with the first person. I understand this game is so old that that is never going to happen, but it would be pretty cool. Okay, let it get its fear out of the way. Movement speed degrade this time. There we go, there's the fear. Okay, let's go ahead and heal the tank. Try to keep it at max health. And drop the nukes. I got a fragment 4. Ooh, and I got a Black Widow card. That is a boss card. So I didn't get one of the 2 fragments that I needed because I already have the fragment 4s right there. But the boss card is nice. I can either choose to keep it, try to get more, and then make a collection, or I can just sell it for some money. I would have to go look and see how much the average Black Widow card is selling for to see if it's really worth selling it or not. I don't have the prices of all the cards memorized. Some will be dirt cheap, like 5 to 10 mil, and then others will cost you like upwards of $1 billion each. Okay, GS4. And always checking durability. Actually, I will show you. This right here used to be a weapon. This is all the stats that it had on it. It was a decent weapon. It's not the best. It was limit level 150. It was a bow. Had attack speed. It had evasion. It had cast speed. Physical attack. Had a lot of good stuff on it. It's definitely it's an okay weapon. Worth a little bit of money, not too much. And I had it on my Pixie because I didn't have any equipment yet for my pets, which a Pixie uses a 2-hand staff. The crossbow just made it attack a little bit faster and cast a little bit faster, but didn't really help with its damage. And yeah, I did a few runs, and I forgot to check the durability. It is now shattered, and it is now garbage. If I wanted to, there is an item in game that you can buy from the NPC that will repair it and give it durability back, but it will lose its enchantment level, so it would no longer be like a plus 17, it would now be a plus 0, and it would lose a lot of its stats, and then I would have to try to re-enchant it. There's also a cash shop version, which will just restore it to how it was before, but, I mean, that's cash shop. You can buy those items from other players in game that use the cash shop, but they tend to be kind of expensive, and the item itself honestly wouldn't even sell for the same amount that that item I would need would go for. So it's just seeing my inventory broken for no really good reason. I could probably NPC it and get like 100 rupees for it. A sympathy offer from an NPC. Oh yeah, and also my Crystal Golem has these abilities right here. They're click to use. They're not like active like attacks that like greatly increases defense, but at the expense of his offensive power. I have them off because I want him to still be able to do some damage, and I like the kill speed. But if I were trying to take on something that could kill him in his state, then I could use these, and I could basically almost double his defense by reducing his offensive ability by like a lot. He is taking damage, but honestly, he doesn't really get. I say he doesn't get low enough to worry about, and then like literally right as I go to say that, he almost goes to like 2/3 of his health. So, you know. I don't want you to bring that thing to me. Fragment 1, I think that's one I needed. Yeah, I need a 1, and what did I say, a 3? I just like to check my drops and see what I got. These are the empty pet cards. You have to go out and tame them. I kind of talk about that in my pet video. But usually it's just better unless you have max level taming and you have all the taming gears and all the accessories that increase your taming chance by like a lot. It's better to just sell the empty cards for some money. Because the taming chances can be pretty bad for the higher tier pets. So once I ever get my taming gears and everything back, and I get my max level taming back, and I get my setup, that's when I'll start going and trying to mass tame all this stuff. Like, one of the most worthwhile pets is the Wind Pixie. It's the yellow version of my Ethereal Pixie, and it specializes in ranged physical damage instead of magic and healing. And those things can easily sell for about a good 350 million empty. They have a very tiny percent chance of taming. Honestly, I'm not going to quote the rates because they've changed over time. There's calculators online, and the official Discord has a bot where you can type in what kind of pet it is and what your taming level and stuff is, and it'll tell you like the base rates and how you can increase it and what your odds of success are. Yeah, that stun ability that they have is really annoying. But anyways, I was saying they can sell for like 350 million empty, but if you manage to actually tame one, you can probably sell that for a good about, what, 10? I want to say around 10 bill, but honestly the prices on them keep changing. They're one of the most in-demand pets. But yeah, like 350 mil to like 10 to 15 bill. Fresh. You don't even have to level it up or do anything with it. You can just sell it right off the bat. Pretty good markup. But odds are that you're going to be going through numerous of those cards before you actually get one to tame. So it's a matter of, hey, I could have sold all these cards for this much. If you're lucky, you'll use less cards so that it'll be worth it. And if you're not lucky, then you'll go through more cards and you should have just sold them and made more money that way. But when you're getting them as free drops and you're not actually spending money on them, then failing them isn't really as bad. It's when people go and they use all their money to buy all these empty cards thinking that they're going to make a profit taming all of them, and then they have bad luck and they fail like almost all of them, and they don't make anywhere near how much they've spent back in profit. Fragment 3. Boom. Got it. Okay. Enchant and combine. That there. Choose my one. Okay, that is jewel number 2. There are 6 jewels that are needed for the set, and we are now going to go get my reward chest and then go back to town, sell the lack. What's my weight look like? 28%? I'm fine. Again, every individual run, I'll get enough to completely fill up my lack. Technically, it would be profitable for me to run back and every time and sell it for 19 million and then pay the teleporter like the 500,000 it costs to go to the dungeon. But that would take up so much more time on these runs that it wouldn't even be funny. Trade lack for rupees. Yeah, trade it all. Honestly, this third dungeon, the Crystal Valley, at least the underground version of it, I hate it. It is probably my least favorite. Okay, let's see. I have fragments 1, 2, and 3. I just need a fragment number 4. Oh, actually, I still have that. It's easy to get turned around here. When you use the teleporter, you get this aura of protection buff. It basically means that you can't attack or be attacked while you have it. You can double click it to get rid of it if you want to go farming. But it works out when I'm going into UG and I want to skip past that first wave of monsters. They can't target me. Now what I hate about this is these witches. If they get an ability off on you, they tend to spam freezing and they stop your movement and, well, yeah. I can kill them fast enough, it's just I hate wasting my time on them. See, normally here's where you'd use a nuke and you'd just clear a room, but honestly, my kill speed is so high that by the time that you cast the nuke and kill everything, I've already almost killed everything anyway. I mean, it's just slap dead, slap dead, slap dead. Yeah, that giant evil tortoise thing, that's the first boss that I have to destroy. Just took no time at all. Although these actually are the bosses from the actual dungeons that these are copying off of. So that's kind of cool. I do like the looks of the Crystal Valley. I like all the blue. I like all the crystals. When you're in the actual dungeons, they actually have dungeon music that is different for some of the dungeons anyway, instead of just like this kind of like generic track that's playing. That gets reused in a lot of different areas. Which, as I've mentioned before, I have this soundtrack on my player. I've had it for years. I actually sent in a support ticket to like the original devs back when they still owned the game, and they gave me a link to a site. Of course, it's a Korean MMO, so the site was in Korean, but it had the link to all their music files on it, and I thought that was pretty cool. They hired their own like orchestra to make all this stuff for them. Fight through a room full of monsters to get to the boss at the end over there. And that is the Bone Dragon. That is the boss. The Bone Dragon is also a tameable pet. Soul pet. I used to have a couple Bone Dragons. One of them was a tank, and one of them was a physical melee. And it was pretty cool. Come on, die before you have the chance to do anything. Okay. Like, I'm kind of stupid for standing there, because it probably could have one-shot me with one of its abilities. I was just counting on the fact that I was going to kill it before it could do anything. Cool. silence. There we go. Ah, feared me before I got my last nuke off. Well, it's now not. It's dead anyway. I don't really care. Fragment 1, and I need fragment 4. We will do another run. Shock surprise. Come on. Collect. Yep. That poison effect is still going on my pets. This level 6 potion only have 5 minutes left on it. Not run fast enough to be able to not give them a chance to attack. I'm not using any actual movement speed gears because all of my gears are focused on increasing my pets' passives so that they are way stronger. I could use movement speed gears. It would allow me to move at probably at least twice the speed I'm moving, if not even faster, so I could fly through the dungeon in no time at all. But then my pets would be a lot weaker than they currently are. So. Die. Well, that got everyone's attention. Let's just use one nuke. At least kill the boss instantly. Oh. Okay. Yeah, sometimes when there's too many commands going on at once, like you're trying to heal, your pixie is trying, your pixie that you're trying to get to heal you is also trying to cast an attack, and you have multiple enemies that are trying to attack you, but also switching their aggro off of you to your pet. The game will just freeze up like that for a second and try to even calculate what's going on. This does run in Windows 32-bit. If they would ever program it to 64-bit, it would actually solve a lot of their issues, but most of them aren't really too terribly bad. It just made it look like I was about to die for a moment, even though the server knew that I had actually been fully healed. It just didn't show on my screen for like an extra second. So I ended up using my other healing ability. that I like never use because I never need it. Oh, I do not want to be feared into that guy. I like how the bone dragon looks though. Especially when you take into consideration your height versus his. I mean, that thing is... I like how the bones fall apart. No way. Like, I don't think I've checked my durability in a bit, so I just wanted to do that. And it's easier if I go ahead and kill these now instead of having to deal with them when the revived boss is active. Okay, heal up the tank. Poisoned. Oh, got off all my nukes. Pixie heal me, because I also got that poison effect on me. And Pixie can use that. Crystal Valley Jewel 3. Pretty sure I said need Fragment 4. Okay. Give me a second. You know, one thing that I've had a problem with is I never actually interact with my stream. First time viewer. Well, hello there, my friend. By the way, I would just like to say I am playing on a TV. I do not have a multi-monitor setup, so my Twitch screen is hidden the entire time while I'm playing. Sometimes I like to have my stream playing on my phone just so I can make sure that there's no actual quality issues, which is how I saw that you had messaged. But yeah, sorry if y'all ever respond to me while I'm live streaming and I do not message you back or respond because I cannot see it. I just have this screen on my TV. But I will try to do a better job at keeping it on my phone. Be a little bit more interactive with y'all, so if y'all have any questions, I can actually answer them in live time. Although it is actually pretty trippy playing the game and then watching the live stream on my phone, which does have a few second delay. I could almost just like play the game while watching my phone and not even looking at my screen. I'd say actually, oh, my wind potion went away. And there we go, faster movement speed. Ah. Die, 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 no, 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 ah. You know, I was saying die, die, die to all the monsters. I should have specified. I did not mean for me to die, but like I didn't say that until it was too late. So, joke's on me. So, y'all get to learn a new game mechanic now. When you die, this is the screen that you see. You have died, and you click to confirm, and then you go to whatever teleporter you have set as your return point. You set them as your return point by double-clicking on them, and then choosing Set My Return Point here. Pretty simple. Now, when you die, you lose experience. Um, you can de-level if you die enough, but honestly, you would have to be trying to, because you're not going to lose enough experience that if you die once or twice that you're going to, drop from like 180 to 179. You would have to die a lot in a row. But you can still lose experience and you can still de-level. That's a fun thing. Dying is also not good for the durability on your gears. So let me just go ahead and repair the... I'm dead, and I'm repairing my durability. That is in fact a thing. Oh yeah, you see how this snout 420 is 713. It's in the blue. It's not quite at half, but it's kind of getting there. Let's repair all my durability. I lose all my buffs, which these were cheap buffs from the NPC, so I don't even care. But you can actually pay higher level players that have like max level buffs to buff you up, and they're like way better than the buffs that I'm using. But when you die and you lose those buffs, that kind of sucks. There's an item, a cash shop item that you can buy called a God Mother Fairy Bottle. And if you have it in your inventory and you die, you can choose to respawn right where you are. And if you do that, then you gain back all the lost experience. And you gain back your buffs. I do not keep those on me. You really just need those if you're going to be paying the high level players to buff you up. You're going to pay them like $1 billion is typically what they ask for to give you like a full set of buffs. But yeah, so I don't really have an option. We're just going to now go back. This is where I have my respawn set. People like to park themselves and their pets on top of the NPCs in the game to make it harder to click the NPCs. It's just a thing people have always done. I guess they get some joy out of it. And click Set My Return Point here, and your return point now goes there. Pretty simple. And now I have to resummon my pets one at a time. So here's my first pet, and I have to wait for my summon pet ability to come back up. I also have this Summon Mastery. This is what allows me to keep 2 pets out together. If I don't use this and I try to summon my second pet, then my second pet has a timer on it for like 30-45 seconds because I leveled it up so much before it despawns and I have to resummon it. But as long as I have this toggle on, I can keep them out infinitely. Unfortunately, 2 pets is the max. The game will not let you summon a third pet. That would be a little bit too overpowered. Oh yeah, here's a quest that I've done before that I'm gonna turn in. I happened to see it was available to turn in. Okay, let's go ahead and summon my second pet, and I need to go back and get buffs for all of us. Oh yeah, my potion got wasted too. Okay, well... doing some stretching. White Dragon, Bloodthirsty, Ethereal Pixie, Deathfire. They're kind of like okay drops. There's currently an event going on where higher tier pets will drop their empty cards more. There's a chance that you can get like a pre-tamed card to drop from killing monsters, and you can also get certain cash shop items, such as like a creature name change or a deco pet name change, or a mirror that you can have in your inventory that will protect your card from being destroyed if you fail a taming attempt. Stuff like that. The event's going on through next maintenance, which is the 28th, I believe is what they said. So it lasts for like 2 weeks. Pretty cool. That's why I have all of these, because these unique tier cards don't drop that often. Same thing with this Advanced Soul Catalyst. Allows you to be able to stage your pets with increased odds of it working out for you. Okay. I'm just gonna go over here. If I really wanted to, I could just click the ticket and I could go back and put it on cooldown. It wouldn't matter, but I can just go ahead and go to the NPC and I can come here. And to be fair, I don't care about my quest log. Probably have a full inventory of the lac that I can go ahead and sell for extra money while I'm here and while I'm at it. Trade lac for rupees. Yep, exchange all. Y'all can see how incredibly slow I'm moving, right? That's because I had buffs that gave me better movement speed. And if I took off these wings give off, give like 4% movement speed also, so I'd be even slower. Already better, but not as good as when I had my level 6 potion, which I only have one left. You have to find the potions by killing monsters, and then you can find 10 of the same level to make one of the next level. So I have like 125 of these. That would give me like 12 of these. Then I could do 60 of these to make like 6 of the plus 5s, but then I wouldn't have enough to make another plus 6. Okay, so we're going to reapply all of my creature's abilities. Also, I like to deactivate these after like I have to desummon them and resummon them, just in case sometimes they might not actually use their abilities because they're supposed to be deactivated. So I just preemptively prevent any kind of bugs or anything like that by doing that. And go ahead and retoggle my toggle abilities. We go ahead and give them the buffs. Oh, and just in case, and if y'all are curious why I'm not using these, that's because I can only stack so many of my buffs. If I put on the supports or the boosts, then it'll start to take away these other buffs that I've put on them, and these other buffs honestly are better. They increase their stats all around for defense, for attack speed, from like movement speed, for crit, like for basically everything. And those buffs, the supports, and the boosts, I can have one of each active and they increase one specific stat. So I like doing this setup better. These are effectively useless to me. And give me just one moment. Sometimes I have to stand. But yeah, we're buffed up. We're about to be going back, doing another run, trying to get the fragment that I need. And then we're going to move on to the next dungeon. And hopefully in this video we're going to make one full set so that y'all can see the work that goes into trying to make one TP jewel set. Now to be fair, I already have 3 of 4 fragments for most of these dungeons. Some of them I have 2 of 4 fragments. So it's I already have a little bit of an advantage. These are leftovers from every other time that I've gone farming and made fragments. And we are just about ready to get going. Okay, getting my keyboard, everything back in position. Cool deal. Use up my last level 6 wind potion. I'm gonna need to go farm in the... There's a dungeon later on, the labyrinth. That is the 5th dungeon where you can get the wind potions to drop. So that's where I'm gonna need to go. First Crystal Valley. I can leave on that Aura of Protection, and if I'm quick enough, I can try to get through this first little entrance without having to worry about these monsters wanting to attack me, which these monsters don't actually have the stun abilities, so I don't really care about them too much. It is the witches on this second part right here and on this fourth part right here that have that stupid freeze ability that just annoy me. Technically, this is a safer way to do it, is just kill everything on your way. I just, you know, like to be lazy, not have to worry about killing everything. Again, just drop them like a peasant. So, I have talked about this weakness before, I believe, but y'all now see the weakness of my class is my pets are epic. They're amazing. They're the strongest pets in the game because I buff them up to be with my natural buffs that give them extra crit power, give them extra magic damage, give them extra physical attack damage, extra health, extra mana, health regen, all that fun stuff. However, your main character, your Master Breeder, is a very squishy character actually. You don't really have a whole lot of defense to you. Most of your stats are going to be trying to increase your pet stats so that they can do everything for you. But if you die, your pets get desummoned. And then even if I had used the GMFB that I told y'all about, my pet still would have been desummoned, so I would have basically revived there and had to have revived my pets, and they would have lost their buffs, so they wouldn't have been as strong. Now there are items that you can buy in the Hidden Village that will transfer your buffs to your pets, and if I had those, then it would have been okay, but I would have had to have again summoned my pets one at a time and wait for them. So that is kind of the downfall of playing Master Breeder. You can still get some defense, you can still get some health. You don't have to be like the squishiest of the squishy, but you're still definitely never going to be among the tankiest of the classes out there. So in PvP, you get kind of wrecked because people know to target you over your pets. Unless your pets are just so much more powerful than them that your pets can basically one-shot them before they can one-shot you. And what's actually funny is regardless of what class you play, whether you're playing like a Deadeye or a Slayer, or even like a Void Magician or like whatever, a lot of high-level PvP basically is who can one-shot who first, who can get off their ability first. It's kind of sad, but it's also kind of funny that a lot of high-level PvP play is basically glass cannon, and it's just who can get off that one attack first. I do not want to be feared into that. I want to run away now. I would like to be healed. There we go. And right off the bat, he uses fear. What the heck is my character doing? I don't know. I'm literally... I think it's because that thing is in... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so in order to go into the Labyrinth dungeon where I was farming a lot earlier, you have to be in a party. You can't go in not in a party. So that's why I have this little party thing active, and because the party box was over my crystal golem, it wouldn't let me select the crystal golem to have the pixie heal him. So instead it made my character run forward, and I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, you know, these fears are being a little bit annoying. And, oh, great, I'm silent, so I can't use any abilities. That's cool, too. Okay, cool. Now, I was trying to do a moment ago. Let's just use these nukes and finish this one off. And hope I get the one that I need. I got a fragment, too. I'm pretty sure I said 4. By the way, I did only get... Fuck, I probably went to sleep around, like, what, 11:30, 11:45 this morning and woke up around 3 o'clock. So I'm probably dealing with about 3.5 hours of sleep. I'm sorry if I repeat myself. And have bad memory. Yeah. Fragment 1, Fragment 2, Fragment 3. I need Fragment 4. And it's currently 11:06 p.m. Yeah, you know, it is very easy to get turned around in these underground dungeons. Again, these I don't really care. They'll attack me. They'll deal marginal amount of damage. Just ignore them. These witches, though. Oh, I know where they need to go. How did that one survive? Actually, after I kill these monsters, I should probably be checking the durability on my pet's equipment. If that, really it's my pixie staff, because my pixie's dealing all the damage. The staff is taking durability loss. The other items really aren't. But if that staff breaks, then my pixie's damage is going to be nerfed so bad that I will die pretty quick. Quick heal while I run, and let's just kill them. Rosen. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I'm so used to just being solo, and not playing with friends or streaming or anything like that, so I can be silent for quite a while, other than just like my normally talking to myself, and just kind of letting everyone in. 1 minute. Sorry. I tend to always have people trying to come into my room. Anyhow. Right, as I was saying, most of my videos are going to be focused on trying to help new players have more updated guides on things to learn. I will be throwing in some just like random videos like this of, hey, here's what I'm doing on my main. Here's what you can expect at some higher level play. But a lot of my stuff will just be guides for low level stuff, for generic stuff. If anyone needs a refresher, if they've been away from the game for a while and they want to understand how some new mechanics work, or if they're thinking about getting into the game. And like with me, like I can read guides, but I don't know, having them narrated, maybe a combination of text and speech is like best for me. So I'm hoping I can at least just help some people out, maybe help increase awareness for the game. That's why this video seems kind of out of place compared to my others, because my others are all just like, hey, here's the classes, here's the pets, here's like a run through of Training Island, which I'm gonna refilm that run through of Training Island and upload that one to my YouTube. I have multiple characters I want to make, so I'll make it on a new character. And there's a lot of other videos I need to make. I need to kind of go over how leveling equipment and enchanting equipment work, how staging pets work, go over speccing a pet. I don't know if I really want to make videos on like every single pet. That would be a lot of videos if I had to make videos on every single pet, what their abilities are and why you would use them and why you wouldn't use them. I'm kind of scatterbrained a little bit. I will kind of just like randomly think of something and be like, oh hey, yeah, that's an idea, I should be doing that. Okay. Actually not what I meant to do. Undines will heal all of us. Fragment 3, not what I need. And I'm just gonna check back on this real quick. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Cool deal. Come on. Sometimes you have to click something like 100 times for it to activate. You have to be standing on like exactly the right spot before it wants to actually work. Pretty sure I said I need frag 4, that was frag 3. Let's go again. Here, let's do this run in first person. Just to, what? Pixie kind of got in the way and blinded me for a moment there. Yeah, let's just do this run in first person so you can see how different the world looks. Never actually bothered to look up at the sky. Oh yeah, this is what the Pixie actually looks like when you zoom into it further. Looks kind of cool. And the Crystal Golem, the intimidating beast. See, and this is what I said about first person. Like I couldn't see that. Like I could kind of see that witch behind me. I had to like turn my body, which is why it's not recommended that you really play in first person. I know there's people who will strongly prefer it over third person, but third person really helps you out. But it is nice to kind of see the game from a different angle every now and then. It allows you to be able to see those smaller, finite details in these the monsters that you're fighting. Lets you appreciate how big they actually are compared to your character. See, like right now, I feel like I'm 2 feet tall. I feel like a little kid in first person mode. Oh yeah, I bet that thing really looks like a giant compared to me. Then I zoom out into third person. Still giant compared to me, but somehow looks less giant. Marginally. I haven't even checked on my AFK store in a while to see. I put in the title of my store for people to message that character if they wanted to buy any of the excess fragments that I have, or if they wanted to place an order for a jewel set, or if they're like, hey, I just need this one jewel, can you go farm this? I'm like, yeah, sure, and then sell it to them. I haven't even been checking on that since I've been doing my stream. I've just been kind of over here trying to get through these runs so that I can hopefully show y'all all the different dungeons without it taking like, 3 hours. I wonder how long this video is actually going to end up being, because we're only on the 3rd dungeon right now. Oh, they even already pulled the bone dragon for me. I didn't even have to go out of my way to do that. Now they're feared, so they're not attacking. Okay, now we're attacking again. My Pixie's passive, this thing can stack as it attacks, dealing increased damage over time. Now that's the satanic crystal core that's attacking me and poisoning us and getting rid of our move speed and attack speed. Okay, let's go ahead and finish off these couple monsters right here. Let's collect. Okay, my drop's cool. Revived boss. Kill, death, destroy. Silent, so we can't use abilities, and he'll probably fear us pretty soon the moment that I go and try to use an ability. Like, stop. I want to heal, there we go, good. And now we are feared. Wait for the fear to be over, and then we will nuke him. Just spamming all of my nukes. And it works rather well. Hey, fragment 4. Oh, also, that's a skill is summon creature. I got a +3 card to it during the pet event that's going on right now. You can also get certain pet skill cards, and dropping it anywhere between +1 to +5. They can go up to +10. Normally you can only get boxes that will give you like random cards, but you know, special for the event. Okay, let's go ahead and make the next jewel. Combine, we're going to put this piece in. Yup. 1 and 1. And we now have our Crystal Valley jewel. Where did I put the, oh, that's weird. That to go there, that to go there, this to go there. That is our first 3 jewels. Now I need to go to the 4th dungeon, Palmyre Plateau. And I already have fragment 1, 2, and 3. I just need a fragment 4. I like how I only needed a fragment 4 for Crystal Valley. And I don't know, y'all can count how many runs I did in order to get that working. In order to get that one. Black trader, give me my money. I'm poor. Okie dokes. Check durability. And I'm feeling good about this run right here. 7 minutes left on it. Might as well go ahead and rebuff, because why not? Doesn't hurt me to. I'll forget to do it if I don't. Okay, Dungeon 4. The Shrine of Palmyre Plateau 1. In game, this is actually the biggest, most annoying dungeon. I'm just gonna go in and show you really quick. I don't even know if the minimap will let me show you how annoying this dungeon is. Oh, because I have the aura of protection, I can't actively go into a portal. LOL. Okay. So, yeah. Well, I'm not going all the way in the dungeon to show it to you. But this is the biggest dungeon in the game. It has a very intricate, basically map. A very intricate maze that you have to go through in order to reach the middle room where the final dungeon boss is. And there's a map for it online that tells you where to go and what to do. But it is needlessly complicated, which is kind of funny. Again, I like how they incorporate the look of the actual dungeon into the underground dungeon, even though they change up the layout of it. They change up. No. Oh. Yeah, I don't really want to fight all these monsters. I want to skip them and get to the actual boss. But that was bad. I got stunned right in the middle. Oh yeah, I like this boss that you're about to see here in a moment. It is, again, it's a tameable creature. Always looked pretty funny. I can't see it quite yet. Oh, there we go, the Blood Brother. It is apparently a flaming slime, and that is all that I am going to say about how it looks. like in D&D there was like the giant Thaka. I think it was either Thaka or Faka. It's one of those two. It's either PH or TH. That's kind of like what it reminds me of. I used to play D&D 3.5e a good while back. There's the Microraptor. Kind of like a flying dinosaur kind of thing. Okay, heal me up and kill the Satanic Crystal Core. A creature resurrection spellbook. It is a cash shop item. This one is character bound. Again, it's only dropping because of the event going on. And when your pet dies, it will instantly revive it to full health and mana. And it will also gain back all of the experience that it lost from dying. There's a revived Microraptor. Looks pretty cool. Oh, also just a random thought. These deco pets, they collect loot for you. And if you use this special cash shop item, then you can also increase their looting range, and they can also increase your maximum weight so you can carry more items. They made all of these dungeon bosses into deco pets, so if you really wanted, you could have a little Microraptor running around collecting the loot for you. Same thing with like the other dungeon bosses I've been killing. You could actually tame one as a pet and then also have one as a deco pet. And if you're a Beastmaster, then you could also turn into it as a pet, so you could just have all 3 Microraptors. Although as a pet class, you can have 2 pets out, so technically you could be a Microraptor, you could have 2 pet Microraptors, and you could have a deco pet Microraptor. And if that's not enough Microraptor for you, then I don't know what to tell you. Oh, hey, I got Fragment 4 on the first try. You see, every now and then you get lucky. I only did 1 run. I got the one that I needed, and I do not need to continue to do like 100 run-throughs to make 1 stupid jewel. Okay, so the next dungeon we are going to here in a minute is called the Labyrinth. It is also known as the Cube Dungeon, because after a while they added a creature into the game, a tameable pet under the classic pet system called the Golem. It's like a cube golem, and it's a tank pet that also has heals to it, which back in the day was pretty special because they didn't have all the pets they have now. And that was how they introduced it. The Labyrinth is the first dungeon in the game where you go in as a party, and it's an instance dungeon. Whereas the other dungeons, anyone can just go into the dungeon, farm, other people can come in, and it's like one dungeon that everyone shares. This is an instance dungeon. You and your party go in, and then anyone else who goes in with their party gets their own instance of that dungeon. So kind of cool. I was farming there a lot earlier, by like a lot. Oh yeah, Sanctuary, Temple of the Ancients, Temple of Lost Souls, Temple of Exile, they don't have the jewels. The Labyrinth and the Red Spider Circus have the other 2 jewels. I have to get rid of this protection before I can even go into the dungeon, and we're just going to click on this right here and say yes. We want to go into the Labyrinth. Labyrinth is a series of stone rooms. You click on the doorways and their portals, and you have to make your way through this kind of maze to get to the final boss. First, we have to kill the first boss, which will unlock a quest to kill the second boss, which will then allow us to enter the final boss's chamber. the actual path you take is pretty straightforward. There's extra rooms in here that you can clear for extra monsters, but yeah, I don't care about those, so we're just skipping them. The first time you come in here, there is a quest where you have to talk to an NPC, and then you have to find an NPC, talk to them, and then they'll give you a quest to kill the monsters, and then you do stuff like that, and then you don't get that quest again. It's just once. After that quest, when you do it the first time, you can't do the revived monster to get the jewel, but once you re-enter and redo it again, once you've cleared the quest, then that's when you can. And unlike the others where you notice I've talked to the NPC and I've gone into a special underground version of the dungeon, stage 4, instead of just going into the dungeon itself, this one there is no special stage 4 of the dungeon. It's just the dungeon, kill the final boss, and then the little light appears and you can summon the revived boss after you complete the quest. The first boss, Haska, looks pretty cool. I like how it all just like falls apart, like all the magic and life just leaves its body. This will teleport us to the final boss's chamber, but we can't actually unlock it until we kill the second boss. But this puts us over here in the middle, and we need to get to the end to get to the other boss. So it is a shortcut instead of choosing no and then having to run and navigate our way there. Once you know, I mean, obviously, once you know the path to any maze, it's not really a maze, but I mean, look at it. A lot of these rooms only have one entrance and one extra exit, so it's not like you're always having to guess, oh, hey, should I go north, east, south, or west? A lot of these are pretty self-explanatory when you only have one option, one door you can go through. And then sometimes when they have multiple options, they just have an extra room that you can go into for extra monsters and then go back into the main room. So it's not really the most confusing dungeon. I actually think this is probably one of the better dungeons, obviously. Not obviously. One of the better dungeons, honestly. I used to not like it because of all the porting in and out of the rooms, but there is less running because you're porting, so your movement speed doesn't matter as much. The rooms are easier to clear than having to go through all those witches and the frickin' crystal mines in the Crystal Valley. Okay, and that is the second boss's door. And what's nice is once I kill this boss, which looks just like the other boss, you can see the arm, like the multiple arms swinging, and it has like that magic stone for a hat. Then it just all crumbles apart. I don't like my life, but you know, I'm just kidding. Now we can go to obviously this is the final boss's door. Ooh, loud echoes. I'm sure I want to enter. Probably not, but I need to, so let's do it. Okay, now we need to kill the final boss, which is this giant Bukata thing. I like how they almost look like really elaborate chess pieces. Like, I could see like a really fancy chess set, like pieces like this. That's a lot of loot. Revived, but not for long because I'm getting all my nukes out before it has a chance to do anything, and it is just destroyed. And I got fragment 3, and I have no idea if that's the one I need. It was the one that I need. Would you look at that? Fragment 3, 1, 2, and 4. Okay, cool. Let's combine fragment 1, fragment 2, fragment 4, and fragment 3. So yeah, if you'll notice, the first 3 dungeons, I had to go through like 5, 6+ times each, probably even more, to get the one that I needed. And then these last 3 dungeons, this is the first time I went in, I got it. Oh yeah, Black Widow card. And there's a couple of the Bukata cards that I got from spending like 5 or 6 hours just farming the labyrinth earlier. I spent a while going through here and getting the jewels and selling them pretty quick. Okay, this one doesn't have a chest at the end, it just takes us back outside, so I can just go ahead and go back. And let's go ahead and sell the lac. And then finally we have the Red Spider Circus. I like Circus. It has some dailies that you can do, which I'll go over dailies in another video. Trade live for rupees. Okay, Red Spider Circus entrance. So Circus was special because it's not a regular dungeon where you can go in and then you have the stage 1 through 4. It just starts out with stage 1 through 4. And you unlock them by clearing the previous stage. And since I'm going to be farming stage 4 anyway, I have to wait a little under an hour and a half in order to get my mission to clear stage 4. So this is a circus. And we're going to zoom in because you can't really see the monsters that well if you don't. But you have like the Parrots, you have the Harlequins, you have, that thing looks really creepy. You're gonna have like monsters and all kinds of cool stuff that's circus themed. Here we have, well, this will be the next one. I love how they roll in how they have like the monsters roll in the balls to go in like you would actually see at a circus. It's just, I don't know, it's funny to watch them move. I like to clear the hallway before I go into the portal in case when I port out, port too close to them and then they decide to kill me while I'm still trying to load in. Okay, escape, escape, escape. Escape, escape, escape. I don't need y'all to try to no-clip through the wall. And I'll try to show y'all what I mean. So right now, when I do the long way of the camera like this, I can zoom all the way out, but because that wall's a barrier, it forces the camera closer to the character. When you get in certain places that are really cram-packed, it's just easier, kind of like this, to just go ahead and be in first-person mode anyway. Sometimes when you load in your pets, like my golem didn't even load in because I'm too close to the edge. So if you just hold down shift and you click, you make your pets walk there, so now he's loaded into the room and they can go do everything that they need to do. So yeah, here you have like the tigers and the lions, and I don't see any bears in this room. This way. Yeah. These guys, they chase you by rolling around on the balls, and they can do it pretty quick. And I don't know, I just think it's a hilarious visual. There's the bears. Dot, 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 dot. Okay, let's head in here. Mephisto and Lilith were spotted in the training room. Again, this is an instance dungeon, so like anyone else who enters will get their own instance if they're not in your party. Instance dungeons are kind of nice. You don't have to worry about sharing with other people, because that's actually a thing. When you get high enough kill speed, you can kill like everything, and then you're waiting for stuff to respawn to kill it again, and then like you kill it the moment it respawns, and then you're waiting for it to respawn. And sometimes it can just be that you know, there's not really enough to go around to share with everyone. When you have enough kill speed, you can do everything. I was hoping to get a Lilith boss card. Maybe I'll get a Mephisto boss card. Yeah, by the way, you don't want to really be in the same room with that Mephisto when you have your pets killing it. It has a lot of AoEs that will like party wipe you. So when you're really squishy like me, that kind of sucks. If you're playing a tank or if you're playing like a Void Mage or something that can just like one-shot him before he has a chance to get ability off, then that's one thing. Okay. On this one, we run the long way around. And we go through this portal over here, and this takes us to the final room. Again, sometimes your pets won't want to load in, so shift click, and yeah, pets, get in here before I die. That would be much appreciated, TY. That Soul of Lunacy, that like really gross, disgusting looking thing, that's the final boss. And we're just gonna, well, yeah. And now I can summon the revived version. And just to refresh my mind, I said for Circus, I need Fragment 2, 3, and I have 2, 3, and 4. I need Fragment 1. I might still have the Circus Jewel in my AFK store though, so I can at least have the full set. At least just wanted to show y'all what the different dungeons looked like and what it looked like to combine the jewels, what they look like, and well, the struggle of not getting the fragment that you need. Yeah, also, I don't know why I'm forgetting to use all of my damaging abilities, like all of my high-powered nukes, because that's what's actually going to kill this boss. Maybe I'll be lucky and I'll get a Fragment 1, but if not, Fragment 3. Let's just look over at my other store. I already still have it, so I already still have a full set, so I'm fine. And again, this one, no chest at the end, so I can go ahead and just port out. And we're going to go ahead and go into the flea market. And as a bonus, y'all will get to see how the flea market works. I'll probably end up doing another video on the flea market anyway. But people will literally just go in and they will set up a shop. I will show you that in a minute as I remake my shop on my other client. And you can go in and this person's selling cash shop items, ridiculous high prices for cash shop items. And you can just see everything that everyone has. They can custom name their shop. Some people say they're AFK, don't message them. Some people will just put in the abbreviations of the items that they're selling. Some people put in random letters because they can. People are saying that they're 7-Eleven. They're selling like health potions and stuff like that. So it just gives you a basic idea. The yellow shops for people buying items. So if I happen to have any of these items, they would highlight and then I could sell it to them for money. I probably have some of these empty cards. If I really wanted to, I could sell them my stuff. People who have these yellow shops open are typically buying stuff for a decent amount under their actual value. So unless you're just trying to quick sell because you need some quick cash and you don't care if you're not getting paid the full amount, you're going to do better just trying to sell them in your own store. People selling stuff in their store are typically going to mark over the prices and they're going to be more expensive than these things are actually worth. So you get a, you get the people who are selling too high and the people who are buying too low. And if that's not good enough for you, then you have the auction broker. And you can type in the name of an item that you want. You can also search by specific category, whether you want summoner cards for pets, if you want deco equipment over here, if you want armor, if you want gloves, if you want whatever you want. And stuff in the auction house tends to be more overpriced than anything else. So really the basic idea is if you don't know what something costs, look in the auction house, see what it's going for, and know that that's probably going to be more expensive than it's actually worth. Look around at all of the different shops, see if you see people selling the item that you're looking for or things that are very similar to it. And then also just keep an eye on chat. People will shout that they want to buy stuff and sell stuff. You can kind of get a feel after just a little bit how much you should actually be paying for something. One note, if you are trying to buy or sell anything, uh, the go-to response from anyone is make me an offer. If you're trying to sell it and like, oh, well, you know, how much are you going to give me for this? I don't know, make me an offer. How much do you want for this? I don't know, make me an offer. People don't like to just give definitive prices and say, hey, I'm willing to buy this, but only at this amount, no more, no less. People aren't willing to say, hey, I'm willing to sell this at this amount, no more, no less. People want you to give them offers because they're hoping that you won't actually know how valuable the item is. And if you offer them more than it's worth, then it works out in their favor. And if you offer them less, then either they'll tell you to up your offer, or if it's just so much less it's not even funny, they'll just block you or ignore you and be like, no, I can get a better offer elsewhere. It could be a little bit frustrating at times when you're trying to learn the prices and stuff. You're like, please, just tell me how much you want for it. Just let me know, so I know if I even have anywhere remotely near enough to buy this stuff that I need for my pets. Fun stuff. But because of the nature of people wanting to offer all the time and not deal in exact absolute prices, that means that the prices of stuff are a little bit flexible, which means that if you are able to find people who are selling on the lower end of the spectrum, you can possibly flip the item and sell it on the higher end of the spectrum and make a profit. And that is referred to as merchanting, which is something I like to do to take a break from going out and farming jewels or going out and farming a regular dungeon for normal drops. I'll just go through here and see what kind of deals I can broker with people. Sometimes they'll be in chat and they'll say, hey, I want to sell this, and I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you this lowball offer, and if you're desperate enough, you'll take it. But I mean, I've sold some of my stuff too for like, well, way under what it's worth because I was in desperate need of quick cash for stuff that other people were selling, and I was like, oh, hey, I really need, this item. So sell stuff at like half its value just so I can actually have money and not take a month to try and sell this thing. Fun stuff. Anyways, so I'm going to switch over. You're going to see me switching back and forth between my clients. This is my shop. We're going to go ahead and close my shop. We're going to go back to my main now, and I am now going to trade myself. Now, I could not do this on the same account. Each account can only be logged in one time at a time, so if I tried to log into this account again, it would kick me off. So I have two accounts, and I'm running two clients. I basically am running the client twice, each logged into its account, and I can just alt-tab over quickly, like that. And if I hold down Alt when I click an item, it will just automatically put all I have of that item in there instead of wanting me to confirm by clicking how many of that item. So instead of having to do that and then type in 55, I could just go like, yeah, all 55, yeah, all 55 gone. Confirm that I want to complete the trade. Confirm on the other end I want to complete the trade, and then we both have to click final decision. This is so that you can't say, oh, hey, this person scammed me in this trade. They quickly switched out the items or quickly switched the amount of money, and they're like, no, sorry, you had to actually confirm that you wanted to do everything, so not much we can do about it. We're not going to take those items off their account and put them back on yours. Okay, so if you want to make a shop, you can only do this in the flea market. Type in /shop, and it comes up with a window. Open up your inventory and put in everything that you want to put in. I'm putting in both my moonlight jewels, and I'm just going to do these in order of the dungeons. So first dungeon, second dungeon, third dungeon, fourth dungeon, fifth dungeon, sixth dungeon, and I am going to type in how much I want to sell these for. I could put in anything that I wanted, but realistically no one is going to pay like 2 trillion rupees. So it'd be kind of stupid for me to try and put that. Again, I sell full sets at 2.25 bill. They are typically valued around 2.5 bill, so I do sell a little bit on the lower end, but because of that, my stuff tends to sell out. There we go, I was missing a 0. Tends to move faster than other people that might take a few weeks to try and sell a single set. I'll be selling these jewels constantly throughout the day. So we're gonna go ahead, put all these in. Now, if I sell every single jewel that I currently have for 375 mil, I currently stand to gain 3 bill 750 mil. I just leave this on here. I can keep my inventory window open or closed. It doesn't make a difference. Now, this character can't move or go play the game or do anything, but that's just my alternate slave account that has no purpose other than to I go farm, I go put stuff on there, it sells stuff for me while I'm playing the game, giving me passive income so I'm not having to spend all my time typing in chat, hey, PM me for this, hey, message me for this, hey, you know, come over here, I have a shop over in the flea market near the flea lac trader, come over here, and just be shouting in chat. No, I can actually go and play and do stuff and just leave it there. People will come by, and at different times of the day, different people will log in because you have people from all over different time zones. Yeah, accepting offer. Will come in. So even if no one who's online right now wants my jewel set, if I just leave it there overnight, by the time that I wake up in the morning, I guarantee everything will be sold. That's actually what happened earlier. I was farming, I made multiple sets, I got about like 3.5 hours of sleep, got up, had a little bit of time to myself, turned my monitor back on and saw that I sold everything. Yeah, so one thing people will do when they don't have a specific price that they want for something and they're really wanting offers, they'll put in an item and they'll put in a stupid amount of money, like 180 billion for this weapon. It might really only be worth about like 100 to 120 bill. I'm actually not very good with pricing weapons, but it doesn't look like it has the best stats. There's a couple of stats that you basically roll them randomly, you use an item and it gives your stuff stats, and there's a certain amount of max stats it can get, like physical attack it says plus 5%, that can go up to plus 8%. Most people don't want to buy anything under a plus 6%, especially if you're putting it on a pet. They want like the full plus 8%. Strength 110, I don't even know, I think that can go up to like 1,000. So they'll put it in store for like way more than it's worth, more than anyone will ever want to buy it for, and they'll say, hey, you know, send me an offer, and then you send an offer and say, hey, I'll pay 110 bill for it, and they'll say sold, or that won't be enough for them, and they'll be like, nah. That's because they're hoping that instead of trying to sell it for a fair price, they're hoping that you'll look at it and not know its value, and you'll offer more than it's worth so that they can get a good deal off of you. And now I'm just running around while I'm explaining this stuff. You can see all the different pets. You have a knoll that's been staged. The stage knoll has all those different colors. The regular knolls are just like gray. You have a stage. Is that genie or an Ifrit? Ifrit. The genies and the Ifrits honestly look the same, except genies are physical and Ifrits are magic. That's a bloodthirsty slaughter. Oh, it just looks like one. Well, I don't know. I think it's a bloodthirsty slaughter. I haven't actually played with one. Death Tyrants, these things used to be one of the best pets in the game like for a while. They still have a nice buff on them, so a lot of people like to keep them on their belt. That is a soul pet. That's Mark Duca that someone went out and farmed and killed. This is a drill bot. This is a special monster in the classic pet system. They're still nice, but I don't know. Most people think they get outclassed by some other pets, but I don't know. Every pet in this game has a use. This is Grandmaster Hector. He's actually a pet. He's part of the storyline, and just all these monsters in the way. He's part of the storyline, but he's also now a tameable pet, and he's the most expensive pet in the game, considered to be the best with the highest single damaging abilities in the game. So yeah, you can just kind of see there's a lot of people here. I saw a deco pet or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's a deco pet. That's called a Snoopy. I actually have one back. They did a login event where if you logged in every day for a month, you every day you would get free stuff, and at the end of the month, if you made it the full month, you got this free deco pet that was never available to purchase in store. So all of the Snoobies that are in existence that people have are back from many years ago from that event. Kind of cool. Have more. What do you have more of? Rings with decent stats. They're trying to sell these rings that have different awakened stats on them that are kind of okay. I don't know, again, when I get bored, I like to just come into the flea market, run around, just like look at all the random stuff. You have a deco pet that is a pirate ship, has the idle animation of it. You saw it just a minute ago, firing the cannons. The little koala. That is Primal Scream. That is actually the Lost Mines, the second dungeon. That is actually the dungeon boss. And that is the deco pet of it. Looks pretty cool. You have this little crafter. You have grocery merchant. Yeah. Okay. Well, honestly, I think that is going to just be about it for my stream as far as that goes. I'm literally going to just AFK, probably have some other time to myself, let my person sell my jewel set for me. As more people log on to the game in different time zones at different times, they'll come in, they'll see it, and there's always people making new characters, whether it is older players who are constantly making new characters that they want to try. There's like 15 different playable classes, and there's also new players joining the game who were needing these, so you're always going to be able to sell the jewel sets. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and settings. I can just leave that. I don't really need to mute it because I usually leave the music on. I have it turned all the way down so y'all can actually hear me over the music. Now I'm just on this. Okay. Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed watching this stream, watching this video. If y'all have any questions, I don't think you can leave comments on videos after they're already uploaded when the live stream is over. I'm still learning how to use Twitch, but I'll probably end up putting this on my YouTube, so y'all can feel free to head over there, leave comments, and if you find a way to comment or message me or anything on Twitch, more power to you. I'll respond as soon as I can. But yeah, next video I make will probably be another playthrough of Training Island, me going through 100%ing it and explaining all the basic mechanics. Because in that last video you really couldn't understand what I was saying. And then after that we'll just kind of go from there. I'm going to try to do a mix of stuff that I'm doing on my main, as well as explanational videos on the lower level stuff. Show y'all how the dungeons look, show y'all how to navigate the dungeons, what the different dungeon bosses look like. That might be pretty cool. Anyways, it is 11:58 p.m. here, so good night, almost good morning.